Question 9 to 13, complete the table below. So we have to label the table. Choose no more than 3 words or a number from the reading passage 1 for each answer. It means that we can use the 3 words as answer or a number as an answer for the question number 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. So first of all, we have to understand the table. On the left side, the first column, the word species is mentioned, so it means there are 3 species of the dung beetles: French, Spanish, South African bar roller. And the next column, size is mentioned, so the size of the French species is about 2.5 centimeter and the size of Spanish species is 1.25 centimeter. In the next column, the preferred climate is mentioned, so it means that the French species like the climate which is cool, which is already mentioned. And for Spanish species, we have to find the climate, and for South African bar roller, we have also find the preferred climate. In the next column, complementary species is mentioned. By complementary species, we mean those species of dung beetles which are helpful to the French species or Spanish species or South African bar roller. And in this column, we have to find the complementary species for the South African bar roller. In the next column, start of active period. It means by start of active period, we mean the period or duration in which they develop their generation. So the French species develop their generation in late spring, and for the Spanish species we have to find the active period, in which period they develop their offsprings. And in the last column, number of generations per year is mentioned. For the French species, there are 1 to 2 generations in a year, and for Spanish species we have to find the number of generations. Is the question number 11. So per year means annually. So first of all, we have to find the French species, which size is 2.5 centimeter. They prefer the climate cool. Complementary species Spanish, start of active period late spring, number of generations 1 to 2. And this is the reading passage about remarkable beetle. So beetle means kida. So here we have found the French species, and their size is 2.5 centimeter long. We have found here is matched with smaller half this size temperate climate Spanish species. The farmer are slow to recover from the winter cold and produce only 1 to 2 generations. 1 to 2 generations is also mentioned here, and their preferred climate is cold or cool, which is already mentioned in the first line of the table. Now our questions for which we have to find the answer start. That's the Spanish species, and their size is 1.2 centimeter, and we have to find their preferred climate. So Spanish species is given here, and we can see that the word climate is also mentioned, and they like the climate which is temperate. So we can say that the Spanish species like the temperate climate. So we can write the word temperate for the question number 9. Next is the question number 10 for Spanish species. Start of active period. कि ये साल के किस अरसे में अपनी अफज़ाइश नस्ल करती है. The farmer are slow to recover from winter cold, produce only 1 or 2 generations. So the word farmer is mentioned. That farmer word refers to the French species of spring from the late spring until autumn. The latter means जो बाद में बयान की गई है, जो बाद में कीड़ों की किस्म बयान की गई है वो कौन सी वाली है? स्पेनिश किस्म है. So latter word stands for the Spanish species. The latter which multiply rapidly in early spring. यानी कि जो स्पेनिश स्पीशीज हैं वो बहार के शुरू में उनकी अफजाइश नस्ल होती है, उनकी आबादी में इजाफा होता है. सो द आंसर ऑफ द क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 इज अर्ली स्प्रिंग. Question number 11. Number of generations per year for the Spanish species. Produce वो पैदा करती हैं या वो पैदा करते हैं 2 to 5 generations annually, यानी कि वो सालाना 2 से 5 नस्लें जो हैं वो पैदा करती हैं. So the answer of question number 11 is 2 to 5. Next is the South African bar roller, and we have to find their preferred climate and their complementary species for question number 12 and question number 13. South African bar rolling species is mentioned here in the reading passage. Being a subtropical beetle, prefer the climate of northern and coastal New South Wales, where it commonly works with the South African tunneling species. यानी कि जो साउथ अफ्रीकन बार रोलिंग स्पीशीज़ हैं ये शमाली और साली न्यू साउथ वेल्स की आबो हवा को पसंद करती हैं. वेयर इट कॉमनली वर्क्स विद, जहाँ पर ये बहुत ज़्यादा मिलकर काम करती हैं विद द साउथ अफ्रीकन टनलिंग स्पीशीज़, साउथ अफ्रीकन टनलिंग कीड़ों की किस्म के साथ. सो द कम्प्लीमेंट्री स्पीशीज़ आर द साउथ अफ्रीकन टनलिंग स्पीशीज़. So we can write the answer of question number 13, South African tunneling or South African species. And now only the question number 12 is remaining, the preferred climate for South African bar roller. In warmer climates, so their preferred climate is warmer. Many species are active for longer periods of the year. So the preferred climate for the South African bar rolling species is warmer. So we can write the word warmer for the question number 12.